Look how far we've come, all the things we've done. Did it all with love, beauty from the bottom up. All I want is you, you're my favorite view. But there's nothing more, girl, you make my heart beat.
And we are back.
Welcome back, you beautiful creatures.
Season 3, episode 21 of the To Be Better podcast. We are 5 episodes away from the season, like the mid-season point of what we've recorded.
That's insane.
Yeah, this will air in the middle of May. I think, excuse me, rude. I think that this will actually air the week of Costa Rica or while we're in Costa Rica.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's wild to think about.
It is. Yeah, it's pretty cool though.
It is.
So how's Veronica said good mid-morning and happy wear green day. I did wear green technically.
Do I have?
But I don't celebrate the holiday like that.
I am not wearing green today.
No.
That did not happen.
So
I can wear you.
yeah,
You're the green.
technically it's me wearing you because I
Yeah.
put you on,
Right.
right? Like I go in
Right.
like a t-shirt.
The
like
thing
a
was
cock
there.
sock.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
We had a really good weekend, guys. Life is very different this Monday.
Yeah. Life is. I don't know how to explain it.
I drank a little bit of an energy drink yesterday.
Mhm.
I drank 4 sips out of it while driving home because I was so tired.
Mm-hmm.
And everything I've drank since then has been no caffeine.
Yeah. I didn't even finish a soda yesterday. I had half a can of soda yesterday. And I'm somebody who would pound 3 or 4 of them a day.
Yeah. Yeah. Food's been weird.
Yeah.
Meat's not been good. A lot of changes happening over here.
A lot going on.
Miss Jim, thank you for being a Patreon member and seeing your first live. So for those of you who don't know, we do record these live in front of our Patreon community. So as we are reading chats, it's for our Patreon. If you are not part of our Patreon, we highly recommend that you at least check that out. There'll be an ad inserted somewhere in this video.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully not right now. Hopefully it's later, so you get a double dip of Patreon.
Yeah.
But we missed the shit out of you guys. We had a whole lot of gratitude this weekend, and a lot of it was based around our community.
Yeah. There was a lot of contemplation happening, a lot of realization.
Yeah. So before we sat down, we were starting to talk, and I was like, let's just save it because I have things that I want to talk about. And we can talk about it on the podcast.
Okay.
That mandala thing that I had sent you, where that chick free-handed a mandala.
Yeah.
You know that you can buy projectors
Oh, really?
that projects line work onto walls and things like that. So if you want to paint a really detailed thing, you don't have to sketch it on a wall. You can do it on paper at the size that you're comfortable with, and then make it really fucking big, and you've got your bones to paint.
I love that.
And that's how I've always painted really big canvases and things of that nature. We could totally do one of our walls in our house in a giant mandala.
I love that.
That wall that has the giant spiderweb print on it that's next to my desk where the poker table is, which
Yeah.
I want to move. I don't like that it's sitting there. Like it blocks so much. I don't know what we would do with it or where we would move it to, but
I'm not helping you with that.
I would have to have somebody else do it. There's no way. I
Yeah.
can't even do it myself. The thing's
Okay.
800 pounds. But I want to do it on that wall because we can't do it where the TV is, especially if we're going to remove that wall eventually. But Vibe said that's how he did murals. Those
I love
projectors
that.
are cheap too. They're like $200. And they, you can adjust the tube on them. I had one for like probably 6 years until it fell off of a ladder.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, 6-foot ladder from the top to the ground.
Dang.
Somebody tripped over the cable.
A moment of silence for your projector.
Yeah. Yep, glass broke. It was not a good day. Not a good day.
Oh, everyone, it's 11:11. Stop. Make a wish. That felt good. I felt good doing that with you guys. Wish probably wasn't the right phrasing. Maybe put an intention out. Put an intention into the world.
Some intention. All right. Iggy said y'all are glowing today. We are different people than we left Friday.
Yeah. I feel changed on a molecular level of who I am.
Yeah.
I don't want to get crazy into what my experience was because I'm still processing.
So am I.
And I'm not going to cry.
The emotion's still high.
It really is. But the medicine showed me my soul. And I have a better understanding of who I am.
Jay said we missed you guys. All right, let me pop open our emails so that we can get ready to read emails because that's part of what we do. I'm trying to slow roll our podcast until our food gets here because I would like to eat.
Yeah, me too. What was the thing that you wanted to talk about? Because I started talking about tattooing and...
That was so the mandala thing was going to be part of the what I wanted to talk about because I do want to do that in the house.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be doing line work and doing that shit, I'm just going to make you do it.
I would love to do that.
But I think that would be pretty cool. And then you said that I figured that would be a good way to lead into the tattoo question or the tattoo conversation.
Okay.
Because you said that you're going to be, what you're wanting to tattoo has changed.
Yes.
So what are you wanting to tattoo now?
Life. Things that bring people joy. Things that are a reminder of how beautiful they are.
Like what? Because that's very broad.
Yeah.
And vague.
A lot of nature. Animals. Loved ones, if that's what they want.
Like you want to get into doing portraits and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Portraits are scary when you first start doing them.
Yeah.
Because it does not take much to fuck a portrait up.
No.
And you can't fix it.
No, it's there for good.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about, so as you guys know, I have this side shaved. I think husband's going to shave the other side tonight.
Tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, that's new.
Yeah.
You didn't see when you mentioned that you were thinking about it, you didn't say that it was going to happen that quickly.
I think I want it to happen tonight. And then I think I'm going to get the sides of my head tattooed.
Yeah.
I saw so many growing flowers and vines, and I think that's what I want to get tattooed on the sides of my head.
Abby said I can get my daffodil done by Peach.
Done.
I know that we talked about you going back to the tattoo shop 1 or 2 days a week. We have to buy your supplies still.
Yeah.
Like there's still things like
is all my equipment and stuff gone? I had like inks and...
Well, we have that.
Okay.
But like you were using a lot of my machines and shit.
I was.
And I have a lot of that stuff, but we're going to have to put everything together and find out what we're missing and then place an order or run to St. Pete and buy it.
Okay.
So I'm excited that that's coming. I think that when you shave the other side of your head, if you get like a big headdress thing with feathers and shit in your hair, it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. Sorry.
We had a moment where, man, I really don't know if we should get into this right now. I don't want to get into this right now.
Okay. I get it.
I cried a lot this weekend. And I'm still very fucking emotional. And just the idea of having the conversation just made me well up. So yeah. I'm not ready to talk about that shit yet. But this weekend,
a massive purge.
Yeah. I didn't throw up though.
I did.
Vibes. I would love that Mickey Sharp's liner. We don't use coils. We use rotaries. But if you want to send me that tattoo machine, Mickey Sharp's machines are normally custom built machines, and some of them actually have value to them. So I would check the value of your machine before you mail it out, because if it's actually worth money, don't send it. Keep it and sell it. Anyways, I'm sorry, that sidetrack thing.
No, you're good.
World.
I don't remember what I was gonna say.
I don't either.
I threw up a lot this weekend. Oh, I remember. So we had guardians there, people who have already experienced the medicine and know that connection and what it's like to go through that. And as I was vomiting my demons out, I could feel one of the guardians facing me and putting intent towards me. And the next day before we went into the larger leg of our journey, I went over and I thanked her. And she told me that as I was purging, I never looked more beautiful. And like that just hit me. Megan Phillips said, "Where did you guys go this weekend? What did you do?" We went to an ayahuasca retreat. Oh, I bet that's our food.
I bet it is. I didn't get a notification for the door, but Carrie's running to the door. So okay. If the food's out there, we'll grab it. She'll grab it. We went to the Hunikuan tribe, had a retreat in the United States, and we went to the retreat and we did 2 out of 3 of the ceremonies that were there.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was just a lot. It was a very good lot. There was no bad or ugly.
Yeah, people around us were going through it.
Yeah. I went through it.
Yeah.
The amount of people who were like, dude, you were battling for your life. I wasn't. All of my tears was gratitude.
Yeah, I felt it. I could feel that it wasn't nastiness or ugliness for you.
Yeah. There was a moment where I told myself on Saturday morning, because Friday night I didn't get much from the medicine. It was very, very, very little. It was like a strong microdose.
Yeah.
And I didn't even really start feeling it until like 1 a.m. Like it took a long time for the medicine to get into my system. And by the time it got there and like I could have taken a 3rd dose, I would have been up until 7 or 8 a.m. Like,
yeah, I thought about the 3rd dose too, but I also didn't want to be up until sunrise, knowing that we were going to be doing it all over again the next night.
Yeah.
I think that our bodies were fighting the medicine the first time.
Maybe.
Because it took so long to accept it.
Maybe. On Saturday, though, the 2nd ceremony, we opted not to do it during the daytime because we didn't really sleep Friday night. And like, I was a little bitter that like I didn't get anything from my journey Friday. I did get things. I did get what I went for Friday night. I got a lot, but I didn't get what everyone else had.
Yeah.
And there was almost a bitterness.
I get that.
And Troy, I was like, I think I'm just going to do a single cup tonight. I'm not going to go hard on it. I'm not going to try to go super deep. And if it works, great. And if not, I mean, I got what I came for. And Troy was a guardian. For those of you who don't know Troy, he's got his own podcast, but he's been on our podcast. He when you do the guardian work, you take a very small dose so that you can be connected with everyone else, but not be in the force or whatever they want to call it. And he said that what they gave him was a little bit too much. And the entire time that he was doing the guardian thing, he was obsessed with the medicine telling him that I needed to surrender and take a lot. I needed to just give in and fucking go for it. And I wasn't going to. And I talked to Troy, and after talking to him, I was like, all right, dude, if that's what you think needs to happen, I'm gonna fucking risk it. And I remember getting my cup, and I walked up there and I prayed over my cup, and I'm like, I need you to be gentle with me. I cannot handle throwing up. Like, this is my biggest fear in all of this. And I didn't puke once all weekend.
No.
And I got all of the compassion. I got it Friday night in a different way. And then Saturday, I got it
in a spiritual way.
Yeah. Yep. I am trying so hard not to cry. It's been a lot. Jenna, we thought about you a lot this weekend. We talked about you as well. Your souls holding hands comment was a very big topic Saturday night.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. They told us while we were there that
they recommend. Is that what you're going to say?
I don't know what you're going to say.
Okay, you go first.
You go ahead.
No, you go.
They say that they don't recommend people sitting next to each other and touching and having a connection the way that we have a connection. And the woman said that they do that and they separate people even if they're married because one person could be talking to God and the other one could be dying and like going through their own death and rebirth process. And doing that, it could pull one person away from their journey and disrupt things. And we looked at each other and we took it into consideration. And I told you, I was like, if you feel like you need to separate from me for whatever reason, I'm not going to be mad about it. I understand. Go do your thing. And then she also said that people do it as like a crutch. Like, are you guys being together the way that you are as a crutch? And like, we thought about that for a little bit. And on Friday night, us being separate because we were trying to be respectful of the medicine and what other people were doing, the beginning part of our night was not enjoyable.
No, I had a really hard time.
Yeah.
Definitely had a really hard time.
And then I touched you.
Yeah.
And it changed the entire night for both of us.
I want to describe what we were sitting like. So we had our mats side by side. We brought our own mat to lay on top of, and then we put our mats on top.
Double mats because of my back.
Yeah. And we also had chairs to sit in.
Also because of my back.
Yeah. For most of the night, I laid on my right side facing away from my husband.
Yeah.
And you sat in your chair. There was total separation from us. And it felt like true disconnect.
Yeah.
It did not feel right.
Yeah. So on Saturday, we talked about that quite a bit. And her comments, there was a couple things in that discussion that really bothered me. And I know that there was no malice in her heart and there was certainly no ill intent. They were very lovely people.
Yes, very.
And they were just trying to help and be supportive so the medicine can do the work. And then it dawned to me Saturday morning that most people don't have the connection that you and I have.
Right.
Like there is definitely a deep spiritual bond between the two of us. And there has been the entire time that we've been together. We have had experiences like this weekend that has made that so much more than anybody will ever understand.
Yeah.
But we are married. We are one flesh. Our souls hold hands, as Jenna said. I truly believe that in all of the things that we do, we are not meant to do them alone. And we talked very heavily about the crutch situation and how she worded that. And the verbiage of using someone as a crutch sounds like a bad thing.
Yeah.
When you are too strong all the time and you can never let go, you need that crutch. And if you're constantly weak and you can't do it on your own, you fucking need that crutch. There's nothing wrong with leaning on the person that has said, hey, I'm going to be here with you forever. Yeah. There was a lot. There was so much shit that went on this weekend that like we have probably 20 pages of journals each at this point of shit that we have to run through. I'm
still going. I woke up this morning and in my groggy state, I just started journaling, just going at it. Yeah. That second night, Saturday night, I sat in the chair. I wanted to be more present during the second journey. And then the medicine started getting too overwhelming. I was like, I have to lay down. And I had to lay on my right side because I was so nauseous. For those of you who don't know, when you lay on your left side, the way that your esophagus connects to your stomach, it's on your left side. So if you are having acid reflux or you're feeling nauseous, it's best to lay on your right side. And I moved my whole laying position so that I could face you, even though I was laying down, that connection was still there. So you could see what I was going through. Yeah. And you came and you laid down next to me. And the moment I touched you, it started getting really intense with the medicine. And it got to a point where I was so overwhelmed, and it wasn't a bad thing, right? Like once the medicine really started kicking in, I was like, oh my God, like it's happening. Like I'm experiencing what I've heard everyone going through the last 2 nights or last night and tonight. And there was a point where I wanted to pull away just because everything, my body was so hypersensitive to everything going on. And I almost pulled my hand away from you, and the medicine told me not to. That I had to push through that. Oh my God. And I am fully convinced after the medicine and the experience that I went through that, you're my protector and I'm here to be your guardian.
Yeah.
And I went through my experience first. My experience lasted maybe 20 or 30 minutes.
It was a little bit longer than that.
Was it?
It might have only felt like that. It was 2 hours before my medicine hit me.
Yeah.
So they didn't dose as fast. Like
no.
On Friday, they did the first dose, and then 45 minutes later, they did the second.
And I did 2 doses that night.
Right.
Yeah.
On Saturday, they did the first dose, and you did a half a cup.
I did 1 scoop.
Okay.
The first one.
So,
and then Sil came over and checked up on us, and I was like, I want to do a half scoop now.
Right.
I could feel that I needed to do more to go deeper with it, and I did. I also did the hape.
Yeah.
And I brought home the tools and the tobacco mixture to be able to do it at home. And I think that really added to my experience as well.
Probably.
Yeah.
I did 2 scoops, but it didn't hit me until after they did the second dose, which was 2 hours later. And when she came over, she was like, how are you? I'm like, I don't feel anything. Yeah. I literally sat there and watched you going through what you were going through, like to make sure that you were okay. I felt like I was protecting you. Mm-hmm. But I was also observing everyone else that was going through shit. And there were people who were feeling the effects of the medicine within minutes.
Yeah.
And I was 2 hours, and I was starting to get mad about it. And she came over and she's like, are you ready for another dose? And I was like, I can just give me a little bit. Like I can feel that it's starting to affect me. And if I need it in 30 minutes, I'll come ask you. But for right now, like I'm just going to wait it out. There was a part of me that was like, I'm just not meant to go through this tonight.
Yeah.
And then you started becoming more lucid. And I laid down, and like as you came out, I went in. Yeah. And I was in for fucking hours.
Yeah.
So I was in it for at least 4 hours.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, it was a lot. I'm really glad that I didn't take that second dose, but hindsight, now that I'm through it, I kind of wish I would have.
Yeah. I feel like I should have done more.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to our next retreat.
We're going to start doing these probably every 6 months.
Yeah, that's what they recommend. Every 6 months.
Yeah.
I also want to be a guardian for others. I feel pulled to that.
Yeah. I looked really heavily into becoming a psychedelic integration coach last night. Yeah. I found a couple places, but they're all over $10,000, and some of them take more than a year to do. Mm-hmm. But I want to do that for me.
Yeah.
Even if nothing else, just so that I have that knowledge. But,
I would like to do that too.
Yeah.
There was a lot of anxiety in me going into this, and there was fear of not what to expect. And it feels so silly calling the medicine mother to people who haven't experienced what happened, but she truly felt like a mother. And even when I was seeing scary things and having to go through what I had to go through in order to get to where I needed to be, none of it was terrifying. None of it was, I don't want to do this anymore. This is too much. and you can communicate with her. I was having conversations with her as everything was happening. And one of the things that really stood out to me, like even through the scary parts, the parts that were overwhelming, she felt like warm honey. With no texture issues. Like I can still feel, it was like a protective layer around my body. And I was feeling embraces, and I was feeling my hands being held, like physically feeling my hands being held. It was, I love it.
We are going to, if you guys want to hear more about this, or you're interested in our experience, we will
thank you.
End up doing a full breakdown.
Yeah.
We will discuss our experience, what the medicine taught us, the after effects, the glow of all of it. I call yesterday day 0.
Yeah.
Right. Day 1 and day 2 of the medicine. And then day 0 was the reset after the medicine. Today is day 1. So it's been a little over 36 hours since we actually took the medicine, and I can still feel her.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not the medicine that I feel. To be clear, like I don't feel like I'm on anything.
Right. It's a connection.
Right. It's okay. So it's just, I know that you get it. I don't want to be like, guys, I still feel the effects of the thing that we took.
No, there's no high feeling. There's no,
right.
It's like vibrations in me. I can feel vibrations in me. It feels like, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah. But we've been journaling. We've been writing a lot down. There's a whole lot going on in that. So we will have an episode on Patreon that deep dives all of that probably in the next week or so. But we need to just
sit with it.
Yeah. I don't want to devalue what I was taught or give an incorrect account of my experience.
Right.
So, all right, guys, as you know, there was a TikTok scare. We lost the app for a whole 12 hours, and we have no idea what the future of the app looks like. And with that, we are very concerned about the loss of our following. We have amassed almost 3 million followers across that platform with all 4 of our accounts. And we are trying to push people to other social media platforms so that in the event that anything happens on one app, we have multiple other backup plans. If you want to make sure that you're not missing any content, we highly recommend that you check out our Patreon.
On Patreon, we have multiple tiers to choose from. Starting at $10, you begin to receive exclusive content. At $15 a month, you get access to our private Discord server where we've amassed an absolutely amazing community of supportive people. And beyond that, we have other tiers to check out, along with my 2 private women's group, if that's something you may be interested in.
Guys, on our $15 and higher tier, you have access to live recordings. We record all of our content 3, 4, sometimes 5 times a week, live in front of our Patreon audience, where they are able to chat with us while we're recording. They get to see all the flirting, the outtakes, the hot topic conversations that never actually make it on the podcast. And it's really worth that aspect in itself. We have an After Dark where we sit down usually once a week and have a glass of bourbon, or in Peach's case, a glass of wine and a bowl of cheese. And we have a whole lot of fun conversations, karaoke in the Discord. We finish the lyrics. We literally just hang out, and you guys get to hang out with us. There is a host of other perks, including Zoom calls that are coming for the ultimate tier, so that if you guys are having problems, you can talk to us. It also gives you the heads up on private meet and greets, because when we travel, we try to meet up with people on our Discord on a regular basis. There's a whole slew of other perks that come through Patreon. I highly recommend that you check it out.
The best way to support what we are doing is to share the content. The second best way is to check out our Patreon. Thank you guys for being here. I feel like a different person.
Mm-hmm. So do I. Let's jump into some emails.
Okay. This one is titled Patreon member, 3 years, 2 babies, 1 huge problem. Chris and Peaches, I cannot tell you how extremely grateful I am for your podcast. It has helped me change my life immensely. I used to be passive aggressive, a horrible communicator, and always thought about my needs first. A little backstory on our situation. I lived on my family farm after getting out of a really abusive relationship. I was in my own home, paid my own bills, and life was good. I got on Tinder to try and fill needs when, looking back, I should have continued my healing. I met a man, and after standing him up a couple of times, he gave me the ultimatum of a date or he's going to block me. I decided to give him one last chance. We went on a date, and I actually really liked him. I'm going to pause there. You didn't give him a last chance. He gave you one more chance.
Yeah. That's how that read.
Yeah, I feel like that's important to acknowledge. You weren't the one making the choices here. He acknowledged that you were playing a game. So I think it's important to take that responsibility of carelessness with someone else's heart.
Good point.
Oh gosh, I can feel her talking through me.
Yeah,
this is a lot.
Our podcast is about to be very different.
Yeah.
I made a TikTok last night. And like the TikTok was unlike any TikTok I've ever made. And I listened to it afterwards. I'm like, where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah. Continuing on. Fast forward to January, 6 months later, and we were living together. Our relationship was based on alcohol, great sex, and what I thought was great communication. I had a full-time career, as did he. In November of that same year, we found out we were pregnant. I saw the pregnancy through as my beliefs are very pro-life. In July of 2023, we welcomed our baby girl. He was a great birthing partner and even got in the tub while I was having her to help support me. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that.
I don't like the term birthing partner.
No. Elaborate.
It takes away the earned title of father.
Yeah.
Because that's some shit a father would do.
It is.
Right? Like somebody who's actually earned that. I understand why that term is used.
Yeah.
Because in that moment, he was there for her. I just think that it takes away the aspect. It takes away the ability for a man to be a part of who he is destined to be. Because I believe we fill 5 roles. I don't know if you got to that in my book or not, but we start as a warrior, we become a husband, a father, a teacher, and then an elder.
Yeah.
And part of that change is going into fatherhood. And obviously it doesn't always play out into that aspect, but to earn that title and to truly be there as a father is very different than procreating.
It is. Continuing on, I had extremely bad postpartum depression and didn't bond very well with our daughter. I believe this was because my job didn't follow through with a replacement for my maternity leave period, and I went back to work after 1 week. I hate that. I hate the way America has maternity leave set up. I hate it. Seeing other countries, provide an elder woman to come into the home and cook meals so the mother isn't stressed and is able to just spend time with the baby. They provide that for up to 6 months, up a year. It's a really big thing in Japan and South Korea, where another woman comes into the home and acts like a nurturing spirit for the family while they get through this period. And after 1 week, she was back at work. They didn't care.
Well, I'm going to challenge you on this.
Okay.
I don't believe in maternity leave.
Yeah.
I think that when you get pregnant and you're getting ready to take your time off, you should quit your job.
Yeah.
So that job can hire somebody else to do that job. And when you're ready to go back to work, if a position is available, great. I don't think the company should pay you while you're gone. You decided to have that baby, that your company that you are selling your time to has nothing to do with your family.
Right.
I don't believe that a company should have to pay maternity anything.
I agree with
that. I
that.
do think that there should be government benefits involved in that if they expect women to go back to the workforce.
There should be a support there.
There should be some sort of something. I agree with that. What it is, I'm not smart enough to figure that out.
Yeah.
But I think that deciding to have a child is a personal decision. It's yours. I don't think that it should be the responsibility of anyone else to make sure that there's anything for you other than you having your kid. And it's one of those things that's not a place of ugliness or it being immoral or anything like that. I think that everybody's got their own journey and their own life to live, and it shouldn't be on other people to make sure that you have your ducks in an order.
I agree with that.
And if you're going to have a baby, you should have a savings.
100%.
You know what I mean? And I understand sometimes there's oops, but that oops can be negated if you really fucking are paying attention to what's happening. I don't know. There's a whole lot that can go into that. It's a whole different discussion, but
I agree with that. I don't feel like that challenged me because I agree with that. I think that society needs to have more community in things.
The community's huge. We wouldn't need surrogates to come into our home if people's families were still around.
Yeah.
If family actually mattered. You know what I mean? Especially in America, it doesn't anymore. Family is family because you're told that they're your family. It's not because there's love and honor and integrity amongst your people. backstabbing and shittiness and ugliness. And well, you got to love them anyways because they're blood related. That's bullshit.
Right. Continuing on, I worked from home instead of in the office, but I was working 6+ hours a day, struggling to breastfeed and getting no sleep at all. In October, we decided to stop breastfeeding to save my mental health. It was the best decision for our family at the time. I was back to work in the office full time, although I wasn't supposed to be until January. I know I was a pushover and put my family last. I was supposed to become a mother who would do anything for her new baby, but wasn't mentally able to as my job was the only thing I knew how to do, and that was my escape route.
So there's a whole lot of excuses happening right there.
Yeah.
There's like, she's trying to take accountability and she's saying that she was a pushover and like allowed these things. Mm-hmm. But that final line where she said, but wasn't mentally able to, as my job was the only thing I knew how to do. And that was my escape route. Mm-hmm. You negated everything that you said before that with that but.
Yeah.
You made a decision. And ultimately that's what it comes down to. All of the excuses that you're giving yourself to try to justify your behavior and why you did what you did, you made a choice. And I'm willing to bet that it goes deeper than that. She said that she was unable to connect with her child. Mm-hmm. There was probably a want to go back to work, to use as a distraction. That's probably what the escape route was.
I just want to add on, nobody has ever made a choice for you in your life.
Factual.
Right? I can see how, like in childhood, when you're living with your parents, a lot of decisions can be made for you. Like what's for dinner, what you guys are going to be doing that weekend and whatnot. Once you come into your own and you're an adult, nobody has ever made a choice for you that wasn't made by yourself on your own. I also want to touch on your job wasn't the only thing that you knew how to do, because there was a point when you didn't know how to do your job.
True.
You had to learn how to do it. And running away from something because you don't understand it, it's okay to acknowledge that. I also feel the need to say, it's not that you can't do something, you just lack the confidence in doing it. In December of 2023, we found out that we were expecting again after one time of having sex postpartum. Yeah, your fertility skyrockets after having a baby. That is one of the most fertile times for a woman.
Yeah.
And in my mind, that's because, back in the olden days, if you didn't do it that way, the chances of being able to procreate and sustain life was a minimal thing. So it's important to research your body and understand how you work. Anything you want to add to that?
We found out we were expecting again after one time of having sex postpartum. Mm-hmm. After one time having unprotected sex.
Yes.
After one time having sex without any repercussions, no prophylactics, no plan B.
Contraception.
Nothing. Yeah, there was nothing there. Mm-hmm. You were playing Russian roulette.
Yeah. It should always be an expectation of after having unprotected sex, I could become pregnant.
Right.
Continuing on, we again chose to keep...
Okay. This is not us shitting on anyone.
No.
Right? This is just intelligent conversation for those who are listening.
Yeah.
If you are somebody who had sex, had a baby, you need to be aware of the things that you just laid out. Mm-hmm. And you guys need to take accountability if you're going to have sex, that there is a possibility that you're going to get pregnant from it.
Yeah.
That's all there is to that. It doesn't matter if it's never happened before. Mm-hmm. That possibility is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Continuing on, again, we chose to keep the baby. In March, I quit my job. I was finally able to see the unhealthy patterns and the route to the same postpartum experience. My boyfriend and I had been talking since we found out in December about me finding a new job, but I quit on a whim after a panic attack one day on the job. I sincerely thought I was having a heart attack. This was my wake-up call that things needed to be different. My boyfriend supported us until I found a new job in May of 2023. I was able to conceal my pregnancy until I was 6 months along, since people just thought I hadn't lost the baby weight yet from the first pregnancy. But I did tell my new job that we were expecting again. They hired me anyway, and we made long-term goals for when my maternity leave was up. I started my maternity leave a month early as I had an upper respiratory infection that wouldn't go away. I was absolutely miserable. I slept upright on the couch every night for 2 weeks while 8 months pregnant. We chose to leave our daughter in daycare 5 days a week so that I could focus on getting better. Finally, after 2 rounds of antibiotics, an inhaler, and a couple of naturopathic remedies, I was healthy again. I was still out of work, so I was slightly quarantined from people. We took our daughter out of daycare except for 2 days a week so that we could keep our spot. I was not getting paid at this time, so we were heavily relying on my boyfriend going to work. He makes enough for me to be a stay-at-home mom, but we would be living paycheck to paycheck for reference.
Okay, so let's pause for a minute. How much was she spending on daycare? Right? One kid in daycare could run you anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a week where we live. Could be different somewhere else. I don't fucking know. I only know our existence. $500 a week is $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
If you're paying $1,000, that's $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot of savings if you're a stay-at-home mom. So if you're living paycheck to paycheck while the kid is in daycare, you have to factor in the difference in cost of that. And if you're paying for daycare while you're working, is your paycheck going to cover the daycare? Because if there's only making like an extra $100 a month over that, it's not worth it.
Right.
I had a very long conversation with this weekend with a young man named Zach, who is he's a veteran, but he is very much like us. They have a 10-month-old baby. She's a stay-at-home mom, and he's the provider, right? And he was saying that I don't want my kid in daycare because nobody is going to take care of my child the way my wife will, because my wife loves my son. The people in daycare have other kids that they have to worry about. They're there to babysit. They're not going to be working on reading and language and colors and all of the fun activities that you get to do as a mom if you're sending your kid off to daycare. I understand that it's not financially possible for people to always do the stay-at-home thing. But if your income puts you in a position where you can do it if you don't have to pay for daycare, or your daycare is going to be your paycheck, don't work.
Yeah.
You're going to have your kid's going to be smarter for it, especially if you're not on your phone the whole fucking time. You know, if you're spending 4 hours a day with your child playing and teaching them things, they're going to learn to problem solve, and they're going to learn all the things that you teach them.
In August, we had our second daughter in the car on the way to the birthing center. He called an ambulance and we got transported to the hospital. My postpartum experience was dramatically different. I wasn't working. I could focus on my babies and growing as a mom.
I love all of that.
Me too. That baby was born like Ricky Bobby. Oh, man. Hey guys, little quick interruption. If you're enjoying the content, please leave a like. And also don't forget to comment. We enjoy interacting with you guys and hearing your opinions, and it helps the algorithm.
It's also free to do. And if you really want to help make sure the show continues to do, hit the subscribe button and share the content across your social medias. It costs you nothing and it greatly helps the show.
My boyfriend went to all of our postpartum appointments, and my midwives told me to lay low for 8 weeks. For the first 5, practically bedridden so my body could truly heal. It might have been my postpartum anxiety talking, but I felt as though I wasn't able to do this. I didn't trust that my boyfriend was capable of taking care of 2 under 2 and the house. There was never any, you shouldn't do that, or I got it, go relax from my boyfriend at all.
Was there a discussion about any of that?
I don't know.
Because look,
yeah.
Okay.
That was a lot for me too.
I understand that we are genetically different. We are also raised different. Men are expected to do things a whole lot different than women are. If I get sick, asking you to do something is really fucking hard for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. When I was having my kidney shit, like there's a whole lot of like, you don't do that as a man. So if you were needing something and I could tell that you were really hurting, I'll do it for you. But I also don't want to take away your ability to do for yourself, because that's something that makes us proud to be who we are. I don't want a caretaker.
Our independence.
Right. When you had your surgery, I was told by the doctor specifically, you can't let her do these things. So I fucking did it all.
Yeah.
But the moment that I could tell that you were healing and you started trying to do things, I let you do them. If it got to be too much, you would sit down and be like, babe, it's too much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got you. But the communication has to be there. You can't expect me to know what you're going through. And in this situation, she can't get mad at him for not asking or doing things if she never specified what it was that she needed.
Right.
Hey, I need this done. I'm in a lot of pain. Can you take care of it? Sure, babe, I got it. I understand that we want people to offer.
Right.
But nobody knows what you're going through. We can't feel your level of pain. I can tell you my back hurts. You don't know to what degree it is.
Or what it feels like.
Right. You had your abdominal muscles cut through at one point. I haven't. I have no idea what it would feel like to have to sit up with my abdominal wall ripped in half. You did.
Multiple times.
Right. But you see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, If your abdominal wall was cut through and I know that hurts you to sit up, well, standing up is just a quick version of sitting up. It can't be that bad, right? I did it with a broken femur and broken tailbone. I know what that feels like. It's not the same thing. Our pain levels are different. Our pain tolerances are different. Like the injuries were different. I don't live your experience. You guys need to have grace with people. You need to understand that you are your own universe inside of your body, and so are they. And you are not going to be able to share your experiences. You have to communicate with your person what you need.
And another perspective of this is if you were up and moving around after 5 weeks, he could have been thinking she's feeling better.
Yeah.
I love that she's able to get up and do things. It's all about perspective to be salty that he didn't say you shouldn't do that or I got it, go relax.
Yeah. She didn't actually indicate that she was salty. Like there was nothing there that said she was bitter.
Yeah.
But the fact that she put it there it feels that way.
It's giving off that.
He should have done more.
Yeah, like a prickly thorn.
There you go.
Yeah. Continuing on, I got my tubes tied in November and was down for another week. I wasn't supposed to pick up anything heavier than my baby for 4 weeks. Again, there was very little, don't do that. I got it, there's nothing for you to worry about from my boyfriend. Okay, so you were looking for a babysitter, right? If you knew you shouldn't be doing it, why are you doing it?
She made a choice.
Right.
Her pride got in the way. That's ego.
It is ego.
I'm going to just do it instead of asking for help.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to ask. No, you should.
Yeah.
Because the squeaky wheel gets the grease. If people don't know what you're going through, they can't help you.
If you want to feel cared for, ask for help. Someone getting in your way to stop you from doing something, like my husband just said, you were making a choice. If my husband knew he shouldn't be doing something, but he's doing it anyway, clearly he feels good enough to be up to it.
Right.
I'm not going to get in his way of his independence.
I wonder how much of this is a she didn't feel seen and loved.
Maybe. I can imagine that he was very preoccupied with everything else that was going on.
2 under 2.
Yeah, cleaning the house, working.
Trying to make sure that their life is together.
Yeah. I could see how she felt like she was left behind.
Yeah.
In a sense.
That's a good point too.
I was up taking care of both kids and packing for a vacation within a couple days of surgery. Fast forward to today, I am 6 months postpartum for my second baby. We co-sleep with our youngest and I exclusively breastfeed. I am back to work, what should be full-time, although I haven't seen a full 40-hour week paycheck. His job pays the bills as mine supports our savings and tackling debt we incurred, so I am typically the parent who stays home when the kids are sick, there's no daycare, doctor's appointments, etc. I have communicated with my boyfriend my needs through all of this. My love languages are words of affirmation and physical touch.
Hold on. I don't believe that. I don't believe that she expressed her needs through all of this.
Okay.
And here's why. The first job, she let them take advantage of her and push her back into the work. She made that choice. The first time when the baby was born and she was on bed rest, she didn't ask for help. She got salty that he didn't offer it.
Right.
When she got her tubes tied, the same thing happened. She was salty again that he didn't offer assistance, and she got back up and started packing for vacation and doing things. It sounds to me like she has a hard time standing up for what it is that she needs.
Yeah.
So in this situation where she said, I've communicated with my boyfriend through my needs through all of this, I don't believe that. And if she did, and maybe she believes she does,
right.
I don't believe it was effective.
I agree. Hang on. It's important how a message is delivered.
Yes.
So you may think that you are getting what you need across, but you're actually beating around the bush.
Right.
And it's already very clear that there's anxiety already happening. So if your anxiety is speaking for you, you're not communicating what you need. You're talking through your anxiety.
And it could be more than beating around the bush. It could be ugly.
Yeah.
There could be passive aggressive statements being made. There's, so how you communicate, the way the message is delivered matters.
Yeah.
She said that my love language are words of affirmation and physical touch right after that sentence about what her expressing her needs. So maybe that's what she meant. I express my needs about my physical love language or about my love languages because the rest of the email says otherwise. So maybe that's what she meant. Just trying to give benefit of the doubt.
I don't know.
Okay.
I also don't believe that those are her only love languages because she was looking for acts of service from her boyfriend.
Yeah, that's true. You also have all 5 love languages. You just have primaries, like it descends in
different percentages.
Right.
Like a little pie.
Yeah. Those things change too.
They do.
Your love languages are not the same your entire life. Your main 2 will probably stay up there, but they shift. You're going to go through different seasons where you need different things from your partner. And that comes down to communication and the way that you're able to talk to each other.
Yes, it does. After this weekend, I need more physical touch, babe.
Yeah. Too bad.
Don't say that to me.
No.
Say it again. Oh, gosh. I love us.
I do too.
Continuing on.
Yeah.
My body is extremely different from when I first met him 3 years ago. I am not comfortable in my own skin and unfortunately can't do much about it.
That's not true.
I agree. That is a complete bullshit statement. Continuing on, I eat extremely clean but have to eat enough calories to breastfeed. I have a 5-minute buffer between the time I have to be at the next stop before I'm late throughout the day, as I am the one who drops off and picks up the kids. I cook dinners most nights. I put one of the 2 kids to bed every night. We clean up the house and have enough time for me to sit and relax for about 20 to 30 minutes before I have to go to bed. I know that I could do some workout here, but I mentally need to check out and doom scroll for a minute.
You don't need that. Doom scrolling is the last fucking thing that you need.
That's a distraction.
Yeah, and it's not healthy. And it affects your mental health. Like, it's one thing to take a decompression moment, to meditate or take a bath, but to doom scroll, that's not something you need. That's your addiction.
Yes.
Look at your screen time and tell me that you need to doom scroll. Because I guarantee you, if you check your screen time, it's a lot fucking higher than you think it is.
Yes. I went no cell phone this weekend. We pulled up to the retreat at 4. I was on my phone the whole time driving to the retreat. And I recognized it was a distraction because I was very anxious about what the weekend was going to hold.
That's because the universe got involved on our way up there.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And we pulled up at 4:30. My phone went off and I did not look at it again until 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. So I went the whole weekend without looking at my phone. And now to look at my phone and to see something that doesn't feed me spiritually, it disgusts me.
We had 2 moments over the weekend where I turned my phone on. One was at 2:30 in the morning on Saturday, which is technically Sunday morning. That was when I made the Discord post. That was post journey. But I turned my phone on because we were trying to buy stuff.
Yeah.
I actually think that we were trying to buy this and your earrings that night. And the other one was when we bought we bought something else. I don't remember what it was, but we bought something else.
My Hape?
Maybe. No. It was the first set of earrings you bought.
Oh, the red ones.
We had to turn my phone back on for that. And both times that I had to go get my phone, I got nauseous.
Yeah.
Before I picked my phone up. There was a disgust is the only word that's coming to mind. So I'm going to run with it. It disgusted me knowing that I was having to turn my phone on.
Yeah. It feels unnatural.
It doesn't feel good. So my screen time has been very, very limited since we've got back.
Yeah.
Which is not like me.
No.
I'm almost always on something. I've checked my phone when I've noticed things have gone off and I've done research, but for the most part, my phone's not in my hand. I've been journaling and I played games this morning while you were in bed still. Like I played Magic on the computer.
Yeah.
But I also listened to music and like I did self-care in that time frame. I think maybe this is our own bias towards technology and that's why we're so vehemently like, you don't need to doom scroll. But I'm willing to bet that 30 minutes that you're doom scrolling, if you did a workout, you'd feel so much fucking better about yourself.
Yeah. And it only takes 30 minutes. Go for a 30-minute walk.
Yeah. Do body weight exercises, push-ups, pull-ups, squats, and sit-ups. You don't even need a gym membership to do that.
No.
And do it for time. Do little mini body weight CrossFit workouts in your bedroom.
Yeah.
It improves your breathing, improves your mental health. Like there's so much that goes into that.
Yes.
And you want to talk about feeling good in your own skin? Get in shape. Get in shape and tell me you don't feel good in your skin.
Yeah. There is a different type of strength when you feel strong in your body.
Yeah. Yep. It also gives you victories. Look what I did to this.
Yeah.
You know?
We fasted all weekend.
Yeah.
And there was not a single point where I was craving anything that was unhealthy. Like when I eat normally throughout the day, I'm craving pizza. I want French fries. I want cheese.
Sugar.
And after fasting this weekend, all I had to eat this weekend was
A bowl of oatmeal.
not even the full bowl.
No, I ate. Well, you had half a bowl of oatmeal. I ate the other half.
And then I had some sweet potato chips with hummus Saturday morning after our experience wrapped up.
That's because we were told we had to eat.
Yeah.
Because we were ready to go to bed.
We were. But like after that, I don't have to eat the way that I was eating. That was a distraction for me.
It's a choice. It's also a sickness because our food is made to be addictive.
Yeah.
You know, if we only ate when we were supposed to eat, it would cost the food industry billions of dollars. So yearly, it would cost them billions of dollars.
My partner and I have had sex twice since having our second daughter, and only a couple of times while I was pregnant. He told me he didn't find my pregnant body attractive. This made me feel uncomfortable, and I don't want to initiate sex with him. Today, he still doesn't tell me I'm beautiful or sexy and doesn't make me feel that way physically.
Okay, wait a minute. He told me he didn't find my pregnant body attractive. This has made me feel uncomfortable and I don't want to initiate sex. Not I didn't. I don't. So something he said while she was pregnant.
Stuck with her.
It hurt her. So it's not an uncomfortable feeling. That hurts your feelings.
You're right.
That made you feel less than. It's not an uncomfortable thing.
Yeah.
That hurt you. And that it's fine to say that. Like that fucked with my mental health. Like it made me feel less than.
Yeah.
You also have to understand that people have preferences. If your man is 100 pounds and he put on 300 pounds, would you find him sexy?
Right.
You wouldn't. If he has to lift up his fucking fat creases to like make sure there's not mold in there, like there's a whole lot of hygienic issues. And I'm not saying that she had that while she was pregnant. We don't know what kind of weight she gained.
Right.
We don't. We know that she was able to hide her other pregnancy because she was still carrying baby weight. But like downplaying the things that he finds attractive in a person is selfish. Him stating those things is probably not something he should have done. But I also have issue with him holding back his wants is not the right word. I have
desires.
I have issues with him hiding things from his partner.
Yeah.
If we both got 120 pounds heavier and we pretended that we were just okay with everything and we were not attracted to each other anymore, that would be a problem.
It would be.
Having the conversation of I don't like you being big and I don't like me being big is going to get us back to healthy.
Right.
So we have to have this conversation. There's also an air of you did this to me. Right? When it comes to pregnancy, like I think there should have been grace in that moment.
I agree.
So in that moment, I think that he probably shouldn't have said shit and just kept it in. And then after the baby was born, if she decided not to lose the baby weight and stayed big and it became a problem for them, there should have been a soft way to have the conversation about getting healthy again.
Yeah.
Because he clearly hurt her, which sucks.
It does suck. As a woman, you don't want to hear that your mate's not attracted to you anymore.
Right. I mean, nobody wants to hear that.
Right. And society puts a lot of emphasis on our beauty is external.
Yeah.
And I want to touch on that your beauty is not just external. If you were carrying and still are carrying animosity over the fact that he wasn't like, babe, go sit down, I got this. He can feel that.
Yeah. There's an ugliness between the two of them.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
There is an unspoken tension in the house.
Yeah. He will smack my ass every once in a while, but it feels more like he's whipping guys with towels in the locker room. Why?
That's her perception of things.
Right. Like, why does it feel that way? Because, one, you're not a man. Two, you're not one of the guys that he hangs out with. You're not a dude friend. I have never once felt like you doing anything to me is like, oh, he does that with everybody. Right? Definitely a perception thing.
I would also like to point out that we never whip dudes in the ass with a towel.
No.
No, if that's going to happen, it's going to be like the inside of the thigh. We're going to hit you in the nuts. Like
we're going to make it hurt.
Yeah. If we're playing that game, the end of the towel is going to be wet. Like we're trying to break skin. It's not an ass slap.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
Continuing on, I communicate very effectively, tell him my wants and needs, and even given examples of how to improve. Set alarms in your phone to remind you to tell me that I'm pretty. Set a reoccurring date night to make me feel special. Okay, so I want to pause there. If he needs to set alarms to let you know that you're beautiful, that's for you and that's not for the relationship.
Has nothing to do with anything but her ego.
Right. That is 100% your ego. And I don't believe that you're communicating effectively because that sounds demanding. The way that was phrased, I've told him my wants and my needs and even given examples of how to improve. I just get the feeling that you're not communicating effectively the way that you think you are. I bet he feels like it's demands.
It could be. I would feel that way.
Yeah.
If you told me that you needed me to tell you every day at 4:00 that you're pretty and I had to set an alarm, it would diminish the emotion behind it.
Chore.
That's a really good way to put it. It's a fucking chore.
I set alarms to maintain my structure of my day.
Right. Now, there are things that you can do technologically that will benefit you. Like you get Christopher Elbow chocolate every time they send me an email. Mm-hmm. Oh, look, they have a sale. Chocolate. She's going to be loving that shit.
Yeah.
Because I don't think about the chocolate unless I'm thinking about wanting to do something for you. But I want to do other things for you because the chocolate thing becomes redundant. And if I did it every single week and you always had chocolates, it would just be one of those things.
Right.
Telling you that you're beautiful is reserved. Hotness is something that I call you all the time, but even that I feel like is too much because it's become my pet name for you. Mm-hmm. It becomes habitual.
Yeah.
It's not, there's no umph behind it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Even the reoccurring dates, it's cool to have a scheduled date day, but it can't be the same thing.
No.
Like we are now doing doggy date days where they go to the groomer and we drop the dogs off and get to go be normal people without dogs for a little while.
Yeah.
And last week we went to Ford's Garage and had lunch.
And then we went to REI.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say we did that backwards, but we didn't. We have to go back though because I now that we watched Idiocracy again, I want those ugly ass Crocs that they had, the Merrill ones, so that if we go kayaking, I can wear those, or if we go on another retreat, I can wear Crocs because putting my shoes and socks on every time I went to walk away from my mat was a lot. Made that decision over the weekend. Anyways,
I love that.
So we have to do REI again. Completely off topic and irrelevant to anything. But if that's what we did every time we dropped the dogs off, we were living in a routine.
Right.
We're not living with intent.
It's not meaningful.
Right. Now, if we were to go, I don't know, picking strawberries in Tampa, it's still able to get back to get the dogs in time. And then we went to fly airplanes and then went to learn how to do trapeze art. I don't fucking know. I'm just making shit up at this point. But every single Thursday would be something that you look forward to because it is a dedicated day. So setting a schedule for that, where that specific day from those specific times are something that we're able to do uninterrupted, that needs to be a thing.
Yeah. I do want to emphasize that if he's not telling you that you're beautiful, and like I said before, beauty is not just external. If you are not somebody who is pleasant to be around or make him feel like he's constantly fucking up or he's not good enough, why would he want to pour into your cup if you're not pouring into his? I wouldn't want to hear you tell me that I'm beautiful if you had to tell me based on an alarm in your phone.
I don't think that you would enjoy me telling you that you're beautiful every day.
I wouldn't.
Because it would just become one of those things. You know how much that word means to me. Like, I'm not throwing that shit around easily. So when I say it, you're like, oh, really?
It made me sob Saturday night.
Yes, it did. Because I don't use that word lightly. That word has a lot of meaning to me. But we've had those conversations. And that comes down to our ability to communicate effectively with each other. We had a couple of times over the weekend where I was able to say something and you knew exactly what the fuck I was getting at because of all our stupid conversations that we have.
Yeah.
So
continuing on, I personally feel as though the sex aspect is his responsibility as of right now.
That's bullshit.
I agree. I don't feel safe being that vulnerable with him.
Then why do you want to sleep with him? Right.
Why do you want it if you don't feel safe with it? I don't believe that you don't feel safe. I believe that you're bitter.
I believe this is punishment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you imagine being told that I want sex, but I want you to do all the work because you said something to me months ago and I'm not over it?
Yeah.
Because that's how that sounds. And if they've had that conversation, well, you made that comment while I was pregnant about not being attracted to my pregnant body, and now you need to be the one to initiate all the time. I don't want to initiate. You're bitter.
Right.
Your energy is ugly right now, and I don't appreciate it. I don't want to be near you. I don't want to touch you. You have put me off. Why would I want to initiate that? You want a grudge fuck?
Right.
You want me to call you names and degrade you while we're doing it? Because that's how this is making me feel. And it's not in a fun way. Like, it'll be out of animosity, not out of love.
Continuing on, I feel as though we are going around and around in circles on this one topic. I have personally made it a point to improve in every aspect he's requested. I am saving money, keeping the house cleaner, shopping at cheaper grocery stores, eating not as clean food options, etc. I don't understand. So you're eating worse than you were before?
Probably eating not clean. He's probably sick of kale. I would be.
I'm willing to make more than one meal.
Yeah. A lot of people don't have the time for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to spend 3 hours in the kitchen. I love cooking.
Yeah.
I also love being hands-on and knowing what's going into our food. I'm not buying pre-packaged, pre-boxed, canned veggies that have been sitting on the shelf for the last year. Like, I want to know what's going into our body is going to be fuel. You don't have to cook that way.
Yeah.
Read the ingredients list on the back of things. There are so many products out there that are just tomato, water, salt.
Yeah.
And you can do that instead of taking the hour and a half like I do to make our own tomato sauce or whatever.
It won't taste as good though.
It won't. But there are effective time costly is not what I'm trying to say. Time effective ways to prepare healthy meals that will help you feel good about what's going on inside of you. If you wanted chicken nuggets and french fries and I'm over here eating a salad, it takes me 15 minutes to pop that. I don't even have to look at the chicken nuggets. Start the air fryer, throw them in. I don't even wait until it pings when it's ready. It's going to be cooking the whole time it's in there. I don't care. And then when it's done, pop it out, throw it on a plate. You want ketchup and mustard, babe?
Yeah.
And it's done.
All of the things that she's listed that she's doing, though, is not going to fix their relationship. Those are all service things.
Yeah.
Those are all things to improve life. And if that's what he's asking, that's what he's telling you. He needs life improvement. This is looking for the deeper meaning of things.
Yeah.
This is also maybe I'm stressed out. The house is always dirty. The fucking, groceries and blah, blah, blah. All the things that she's laid out that she's doing for him are all things that is quality life improvements. He's not happy.
Yeah. I think you need to put the phone down.
Yeah. Good point.
I think the phone needs to be put down. The doom scrolling needs to stop. You need to find other ways to nurture your soul that's not wasting your existence on the earth.
Guys, they need to turn towards each other.
Yeah.
In a healthy, like intimate way, not just because, we were told to do this.
Yeah. Continuing on, communication has been the one area that I have requested him to improve, and it always goes by the wayside after a couple of days. For example, I ask him if he's mad and he says no. I do the same thing again that didn't make him mad, and he gets mad and says, "You always do this," and it frustrates me.
Okay, so before you move on, you doing something once is an overlookable thing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because do you really want to go through a whole ass conversation about something and what could be perceived as a fight, because most people don't have the ability to communicate in a calm manner? Or do you want to just go, no, I'm good, and move past it so that you can continue to have the rest of your day be good?
Right.
Because there's a choice being made there. Neither one of those are the right options. Sometimes the answer is to just say no and then bring it back up later when you're out of the situation that you're in and you're not angry and you can have a calm conversation. Sometimes you need to have that conversation right fucking now. Lying to your partner when they do something that makes you mad also makes you a liar. And it shows that you are not safe enough in having a conversation with your person because you've been trained that it's going to become a big ass blowout. And people don't want to do that. There are so many times in my life where I've just said nothing or I'm good when I'm really not fucking good, and it's totally not nothing, because it's easier to do that than it is to have a fight with somebody.
Yeah.
You have to, this is choosing your battles. And if you believe that everything is going to be a fucking fight, you're eventually just going to stop.
Yeah. I also want to touch on that being mad and being frustrated are not the same thing.
No.
So he told you the truth. He's not mad about it.
Frustrates him.
It frustrates him. And I think that maybe a deep dive of what emotions are could be beneficial to both of them. It took me a while to sit down and go, I'm not angry, I'm disappointed. I'm not frustrated. It just didn't go the way I expected it to. So now I'm feeling a certain way about it.
Right. It's also not healthy to assume somebody else's emotions.
Right.
And like you said, frustrated is not angry.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. Anger is easy. If that's their go-to thing and they are getting angry and mad, it's because they don't understand the rest of their emotions.
Right.
Being able to discern the difference between anger and frustration is a big deal. Oh, yeah. I said that because I did that to you for a while.
Yeah.
I assumed your emotions instead of asking you. That creates a whole lot of other problems because you posture based off of what you feel is happening. And if you feel your person's getting mad at you and you posture for that fight, you're going to have one now. If you go looking for something, it's going to be there.
Mm-hmm. Continuing on, I try to keep him accountable, but at what point does it become mothering? At what point do I put my needs first again? I don't want my girls to think this is the relationship they have to settle for, so why should I?
When have you not put your needs first?
This whole email has sounded like me.
Right. I haven't heard an example where she's not putting her needs first.
Right.
This. She did say that she's doing the things that he's asked of her.
Right. Keeping the house cleaner.
That's great.
All of that.
But I don't see where she needs him to initiate all the time.
Right.
Right. So like,
what sacrifices have been made that makes you feel like you're not on the same level?
Right. That's a good question. That should have been included in the email.
Yeah.
You don't settle in your relationship.
No.
You serve each other. And when things are not the way they're supposed to be, have conversations about it in a way that lands so the other person can understand what's happening. And sometimes those conversations have to happen a bunch. Sometimes you're going to find people in your life that you cannot overcome those things. You're going to be gridlocked or you're going to be stuck in a perpetual fight, as they call it. There's nothing you can do about that. People are going to do what they want to do. And if this dude doesn't want to do any of these things and you're nagging and complaining, it's just going to continue to push him. We talked about this earlier last week. When you push for something, people are going to push back. It doesn't matter who they are. If you're trying to make demands and you're nagging and you're doing those things, people are not going to just say okay and do them.
Right.
And if they do, they're not them anymore. Like they're just doing what the fuck they're told. You have a servant. It's a very different situation. You lay things out in a way that makes people want to serve you. They makes them want to serve you, not to be a servant.
Right. I can't trust a word he says. I have contemplated looking through his phone to see if he's cheating when going to work meetings. Who can go 18 months without having sex maybe 3 times?
It happens with a lot of people.
A lot.
Sexless marriages are fucking common, and you're not even married.
Right.
She's also not initiated at all.
Right.
Because that's his duty now that he made that comment. There's also 2 kids in the house. Whole lot of stress that's probably happening.
2 oopsie babies.
Right. I want to know why she can't trust a word he says.
Yeah.
Why would that be a thing? Has he been lying? Because now that's a whole other conversation.
Right. She has laid out, this man has changed so drastically. He went from being the man who got into the birthing pool to help support her to I can't trust anything that he says. There is so much that has not been included in this email.
I wonder how much of that would have painted her in a bad light.
I believe it. Who can go 18 months without having sex? Men who still hold on to hope that their woman is going to come back to them.
Yeah. People who don't feel desired or wanted.
Yeah.
People who feel like they're John Wick when they're in their house. People who feel like they're with somebody because they don't have a choice. The roommate phase. Yeah, it happens all the time. That's a sexless marriage.
Yeah. Continuing on, we don't have any physical connection anymore. I feel like I'm drowning and I don't know how to save myself. I cannot financially support my 2 kids myself. I don't think I would be able to mentally share custody of them, but I don't want to stay in a relationship that is not going to go anywhere just for a paycheck. Thank you for helping me figure out new ways to move forward or give me the confidence to do so.
This is one of those times where you're only in a relationship with somebody. You're not married. You have the option of leaving if you truly wanted to, and that would be the end of it. I don't think that's the answer. I don't think that there's enough information here for us to give out any type of real opinion. Because what we've laid out, what's been laid out and we've talked on is just that.
Yeah.
But you have an opportunity to fix your relationship if you guys can learn how to fucking talk to each other. You can't expect him to be the one to initiate and do all these things for you if you're not grateful for any of it.
Right.
If he's tried to initiate 3 times in 18 months and you were standoffish or didn't really seem engaged or like you really were interested in it.
Right.
You
or
didn't
just
even
doing it because he wanted it.
Right. Why would somebody want to continue to do that either? There's a whole lot of what if in all of this.
I want to touch on the emailer said, I feel like I'm drowning and I don't know how to save myself. You're not drowning. You're both drowning.
Yeah. Yep.
This man is not the man that you got with. I couldn't imagine trying to save myself without trying to save you.
It's because it's not you or I.
Right.
It's us.
And that's something to think about. I don't have anything else on this.
I don't either. I hope that you find the ability to talk to him in a way that he's able to understand and not feel like he's being attacked, and that you don't feel like you're being attacked. Maybe you guys start doing the check-ins.
Yeah. And remember,
make him watch the video. Mm-hmm. Be like, look, this is a last ditch effort. I'm fucking miserable. You're clearly not happy. This is going to be the thing that is going to make or break us. I want you to watch this video and I want to implement this. And if this works out and we can learn to communicate, it could be the thing that keeps me around. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't, and this doesn't go, then we really need to reevaluate our life because this isn't working for us. I know that it's working for us and that we're financially taken care of. Our bills are paid. That's great. But you're not happy and I'm not happy. So we have to find a way to make that work because we get one opportunity at life and I don't want to waste it. Do you want to spend the next 30 years of your life feeling like you feel right now? Because I'm telling you right now, I don't. Mm-hmm. And that's going to hurt him in this situation. He's going to feel hurt. Your partner, whoever's listening, will feel hurt when you say some shit like that. It's going to make them retract from you a little bit.
Yeah, like a wounded dog.
While they process what was said. And then they have the opportunity to serve you based off of a want that you have versus you bitching and complaining and nagging, trying to force them to give you something. And the way that they handle things beyond that tells you everything that you need to know. Because if they really want to try to make the marriage work or the relationship work, they'll do the fucking check-ins.
Yeah.
And if they're not willing to do them, that tells you everything you know. I'm not willing to sit down with you for 2 hours and have a conversation. I dislike you that much. That's what that says. That's what I hear when people say that my partner won't do them. This was a long one. We're already an hour and 33 and there's 15 minutes or so that has to be cut out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we can wrap up with this one and move on to a Friday episode if you want.
Okay. I'm down for that.
So with that being said, you know what one of the other things were? The other phrases that I just remembered was life is a ceremony.
Yeah.
That was a big one for me. That was a really, really big one for me. I actually thought about trying to change our sign off so that I can include that with our sign off in something else. But
life is a ceremony, so don't forget to dance. That's
good. That's a good way to remind people to live their life.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that. Are you writing it down?
I am.
You writing down the whole sign off or just the life is a ceremony?
How do you spell ceremony?
CEREMONY.
Oh, I already messed it up. Hang on.
So with that being said, guys, remember that life is a pen. Remember that you're the artist. Fuck me. Just paint a picture, guys. You are the author of your own life.
So grab a pen.
And we will see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.